Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Monday the 18th of May. So looking at the euro dollar first, and well, as you can see, it's pretty much same old. Still range bound on the shorter time frame here. I say shorter time frame, near time here, ranging largely between that sort of 108.8 area and around about 107.7. So there we go. That's where it's ranging to. It's in a slight upward trend at the moment on the lower time frames here. 60-minute time frame. You've got just a drifting time frame running across here. It's sticky. It's slow. It will eventually probably do something, but as I say, it's got that slight drift to the upside. For now, looking at what's going on, I'd rather leave it alone, to be fair. There is the potential it could just roll over here, just roll through the trend, through the 34, etc. If it does, well, target-wise, would be looking down towards the S1 there at 107.87, but it's in such a chop on the bigger time frames. It's not really helping too much. The pound, you can see on the daily time frame, it's still in this downward trend. Biggish down day. Ended up closing down last week there. It's lower highs, lower lows through there. Quite simple in that respect. It's just really catching something this morning. It's not a long way away from its daily pivot. That could turn into a reasonable shorting point. Other points to watch above, where it has got the weekly pivot, which could be a draw. So there is this sort of draw to the upside, and we'll see post 8 o'clock and how these markets sort of start livening up. But as I say, potentially these levels could be short positions, but again, it's not looking too obvious to me at the moment. I mean, it could just roll, of course, from where it is, but there's too much of a draw for me to go straight off at that. Dollar yen, well, 1, 2, 3 days with barely any marginal higher lows and higher highs there. Very tight range it's sitting in at this stage. Again, it'll come down to the 4 hourlies, and there was that trend last week. I drew on there towards the end of the week. Friday it just dipped below it, caught back into the 50 and bounced. At this stage, well, it's just chopping sideways. Not a lot for me to be looking at there. Higher lows, lower highs and higher lows. Yeah, so it is tightening up into a range there, which at some point could fire off. If anything, it's erring towards the upper side there. Maybe this could push up towards that 38 area, but which is hardly anywhere from where we're sitting at the moment. So the overall ranges of these markets is certainly dropping. The average true range certainly dropping. Aussie dollar, well, the downward trend that was sort of pointing there last few days. I drew this regression channel on here, and this looks pretty a good summary of the price action we'd seen through most of last week. It pitched up earlier in the week and then basically mostly sold off. Where to now? We're looking at a smaller time frame where again, well, it's got the weekly pivot above R1. It may be that it just wants to run towards that this morning. If it can break this trend line here, maybe that's a cleaner view of anything. Again, 38, 48, 58, 20 pips up to there, roughly potential, but it's, as I say, with lower highs, lower lows, you can see clearly through this. It doesn't look too impressive for the upside, so it may be a struggle to get up there even. Okay, that's the Aussie and the Canadian dollar. Another market which, well, it's sort of got the inverted Aussie there. It's got that sort of trend that sort of started. You can just about see it. It's hardly a trend in the bigger picture, but a trend that sort of these high lows, higher highs coming through. A bit of dodgy patch there on Friday, but it's still heading that sort of direction. We saw a break of it a little bit come through late last week there, but we'll see if it's a turning point now. It appears put sort of lower highs in. If it breaks the 100 moving average, it'll put another lower high, and it could be for more of a correction, but watch out for support coming in pretty close. It has got the weekly pivot below, which could be a draw, of course. So yeah, there's the potential. Canadian dollar, maybe a bit more softening. Okay, we look across at the S&Ps. Get a feel for the S&Ps futures at the moment. Let's have a look. Well, again, another market that's broadly sort of trending up on the dailies in the short term there. High lows, high highs, a sort of odd spike here, but as I say, broadly trending up at this stage. And then you come down to the hourlies, and it's a real pig's ear, real messy old day there on Friday, and in a tight range at the moment. What we got, well, what lies beneath is that weekly pivot. It may just be, if we see it start rolling this morning, a near-term target, but the pretty common theme for all these markets is a consolidation and range trading. So if we get any lows or highs in these markets, it may be the opportunity back into previous highs and lows to be trading against those. And oil, one market that has had a kicker, and it's continued to push up there now, is the oil price. And now we have got, it's Tuesday, the expiry this week, so we'll be interested to see what happens there. But there certainly seems to be a sort of an effort to reduce production, and that's sort of getting out there in the market. And maybe and certainly the storage levels in the US has dropped somewhat, so this is maybe a theme of things to come, but I don't trust it running off too quickly. That's the only thing. Right, that's pretty much it. As news wise, I haven't said today, but the reason I didn't bring anything up in news, because there isn't anything much in the way of news. So I wish you a great day, and it's a bye from me.